Okay, this is going to be another short one. I wanted to basically just talk about the problem that I see in all martial arts. I had made a video the other day on BJJ and MMA, and it's just picking on them, really. And it's because their fanboys are so easy to pick on. Here's my thing with martial arts. Every martial art that was ever made was a self-defense system made by a master for himself to use. And some of them, these masters were like, oh, I'm going to pass this on and teach this to other people. But it was still how to defend him. It's not how to defend you. This is every martial art on earth. And then on top of that, there's the fact that it's a martial art. It's not a self-defense system or whatever. It is something that you do as an exercise to help you in combat and help you spiritually and mentally and physically. It's like a lot of people who do any martial art don't realize that all martial arts are Tai Chi. All of them. They are all a demonstration. Okay, they're a show. They're a dance. You as a martial artist should be a dancer. That's the lesson that most of these martial arts have to teach you. Now, some of them are more useful dances than others. Like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a lot more useful than Tai Chi. It's still a dance. It's still, it is a tool that you could use in a fight. It is not fighting. If you train Krav Maga over and over again, that's closer to fighting, I would say, but that's a lot more recent martial art. And it's trying to actually take some of these things and mix them into a practical thing that is for defense. Like, that's a whole different thing in my mind. And I'm not a Krav Maga fan. I actually think that's a bunch of bullshit usually too. Any martial art is only as good as the teacher. And like, this is the thing that you have to learn here is I'm not teaching you how to fight. I'm teaching you how to think. And I'm disguising it as how to fight. And part of how to think is how to pick your teachers. And this is like if I could teach you one thing, it would be what I'm telling you right now. And it's how to pick out bullshit artists from people who really know what they're doing. Bullshit artists are going to try to sell you shit. Period. Bullshit artists are going to claim shit about their resume and background. Okay? This is what they do. Let's look at James Yeager, for example. Is James Yeager a bullshit artist? First off, I'm going to say no. I actually like James Yeager. But he's just a perfect example of a gun martial artist. He is teaching you a martial art with guns that will come in handy in fights. And he knows it. And I think he would agree with most of what I've said in this fucking video. So, is James Yeager, one of these things? No. Well, what about Taran Butler? I'm not going to really talk shit about Taran Butler either. I think he's a good shooter. But he's not teaching people to fight. He's teaching people to shoot. There's a big difference. And like even James Yeager, I would say to some extent, is a teacher that teaches you fighting with a heavy focus on guns. And that's a much more interesting teacher than someone that just teaches you how to shoot real fast. Okay. John Lovell will teach you how to fight with a gun. These are the people that you should be listening to. Okay. Thunder Ranch is awesome. I would go listen to him too. There's a video by Paul Harrell on how to spot a fake expert. You should go watch that thing like a motherfucker. I never claimed to be anything I'm not. I'm some dickhead in the woods that likes to make knives and shoot guns and get in fights. Okay? And part of my thing with getting in the fights is that I go crazy places and dress like a woman and have fucking gay sex and all sorts of other shit. Like, I attract all sorts of shit into my own life. I know that. I welcome that. That's me. This is why you should be listening to me. I'm a crazy, fucked up individual who has managed to stay alive this long. That's my resume. And as such, I'm teaching you how to break your mind free of a prison and then how to re-educate it in ways that will make the government afraid. If you want to do that with guns, go talk to fucking Thunder Ranch, John Lovell, James Yeager, Chris Costa. Like, the list goes on. What's that dude in Michigan? Fuck. Yeti. Steve Fisher. Fucking. We could just go on naming names of people that you should go talk to. Okay. I don't want to make a list of people that you shouldn't talk to. But what I am saying is that if what you're doing isn't about fighting, it's useless to some extent. Like, again, like I said with the martial arts thing, know what it is. Competition shooting with a rifle is something that is a martial art. It is something that it has nothing to do with fighting until it does. Ask the Marines in fucking Afghanistan that were getting accused of fucking war crimes because there were so many fucking headshots. Those headshots were taken at 600 or 700 meters because they're good at their martial art. And I guess this is the lesson to be learned here, is that if you are going to pick a martial art, pick a useful one like rifle shooting and be a master of it. Be a master of all if I could talk, be an expert of all aspects of it. Don't go and fucking study Krav Maga and Aikido or some shit on the weekends and think you're a badass. Because chances are, in a fist fight in a bar against untrained people, you might win. In, hey, we're fighting over food in the street in the end of the world and I'm going to stab you and shoot you, you're going to lose. Know this. This is the problem with all martial arts that are not gun and knife based, in my opinion. And like, I'm not saying that you should never be able to use empty hands. Empty hand skills are important, but you should be using skills with your guns and knives that translate to empty hands. This is the nature of modern combat. We do not live in, a bare knuckle boxing ring. We live in a dynamic world where there is no pad on the ground. And this completely changes a lot of these fights. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps someone. And I hope that you all are learning from my rantings. I'm doing this mostly as a form of therapy for myself. And I'm hoping to say fuck the government and be free all at the same time while doing it. So thanks for watching.